Hey, this is David for BigBits. In this video, we're going to take a look at the first version of Lightnite that is available. That is the single player version. This is essentially their alpha slash demo to where you can kind of get into the environment and see what's going on. Now, I'm getting into the game through Steam. If you've already pre-purchased, then you should have been able to get your access code and redeem that on Steam to be able to have access to the game. And you can download and play that as of pretty much yesterday, which was April 13th. This is my first chance of actually getting around to look at it. So today is actually April 14th, 2020, and I've already opened the application just to make sure it actually opened. There were small delays in getting the application into Steam once the keys were given out, but now the game has actually been released and we can actually take a look at it. So let's actually go ahead and do that. This is my first reaction of the game myself. So I had a nice little splash screen that came up. We're onto the Lightnite menu. Looks very nice. I actually really like the menu. It looks very professional in my opinion. I believe we've seen this from some of their early release screenshots. And you can see here there is a section for Satoshis. That is the Satoshi symbol that a lot of people have used. And this would be your balance, I assume, once you get your account set up on their website or through the actual game client itself. You'll be able to keep track of your Bitcoin in Satoshis here. And of course, there's quite a few things going on here. Let me click on settings and see what we got. There's a few different settings. Nothing major. As you should be aware, this is an alpha build or essentially just a demo, so not everything is in there, but just getting to see and get a feel for the game I think is really important to see how this is actually going to turn out. And so far, just looking at the menu, it looks really nice. Let's actually get into the game and see how that works. So let's see, we have two options right now. There's a development sandbox, and there's a military base, close combat facility. Let's go ahead and hit play and go to the military base. Now I am on a solid state drive, so I'm hoping the loading will happen pretty quickly. Yeah, that's very nice. I can already tell I think my sensitivity is a little too high for me. Let's see if I can change that. Okay, no, we don't have a sensitivity setting just yet, so that's probably something they're already working on. I don't think they would have overlooked that, so most likely it's just they haven't been able to implement that yet. And as I said, this is the very first version that's out there, so there's probably a lot that they're missing. They've obviously done a lot of nice work on their graphics. Now I am using a GTX 1080 Ti, so my graphics should be very good. This is a pretty high-end card. Let me see if there's anything I can do. No, I can't go up any higher level on the graphics. We're already at 1080p resolution at the highest hertz available. Now, if this is detecting my monitor's refresh rate, which I don't know if it can, then that might be capping it. Otherwise, you might be able to get a faster refresh rate there. But between the two, I think we're good. Now, I don't have the audio enabled on my computer because usually when I record videos, I don't want the audio on. But I'm actually going to turn my volume up locally here and see if I can actually hear anything. No, I'm not hearing anything. Do I have this muted? Let me check my other screen. So I'm not really sure if it's not playing music or muted. This is probably an issue on my end just because of how I do my recordings. I usually don't record the desktop audio. But let's actually get into moving around. You can see at the top, then this is a very nice HUD. You've got a nice compass up at the top that shows you it even, I don't know if you'll notice this, right above the W now in the center, I believe that is telling you the angle within the 360 degrees on the map that you're looking at. So it says 270. So I believe, yeah, 360 minus 90 would be 270. So at a right angle, 90 degrees, that would point you directly west, which would be left, which, let's see. I think this is right. Okay, these videos confuse me when they get flipped like this, but you can get an idea for how these things actually work. So north should be 360 or 0. Yep, east would be 90. And south would be 180. Okay, so yeah, that number behind that does show you the absolute angle you're looking at, which is pretty nice to know. Up in the top right, there is a mini map, which that's handy, of course. And then there is a map as well. Let's hit M. It looks like a keyboard shortcut. Okay, we can see the entire map here. Okay, one thing I'd already like to see is an indicator for our position currently, but it's just kind of nice to see all of this as it is. Resume the game, look at the bottom. So it looks like that is our ammo on the bottom of the screen. We have 600 in our ammo, and we have, I believe that would be 30 clips. And let's see, we're just moving around here, jumping. I actually really like it. The lighting, I think, is really nice. It's reflecting really nicely off the van. Even though this is low poly, I think it actually looks really good. Movement, he's kind of sliding around on me a little bit, but I believe that's due to them coding in some momentum. But he's moving pretty quick. That's not really too big of a deal. Like I said, I would like my sensitivity to be adjusted. And finally, let's actually start firing some stuff. Let me go up to the top of these steps. See if I can right click to zoom like you can in a lot of games. No, not yet. One thing I don't like already is with the crosshairs, my mouse is in the middle of that, but let's try to shoot some stuff just by clicking. Okay, nice. So there actually is sound. There's no music. Let me turn my desktop audio on. You might hear some dings for some notifications that come through, and that's why I typically have my sound off in my videos, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to leave this on so that you can hear what's going on. Okay, you can crouch with the control key, and that is a toggle with the control key. Let's see if we can reload with R. Yes. Use R to reload. Nothing on E and Q yet. It looks like E is an emote, telling them to go on. Q doesn't appear to be anything. The M, of course, was the mini-map. And I don't see any other keybinds just yet. None of the numbers at the top of the keyboard are doing anything. Shift doesn't appear to be doing anything. So, yeah, I think that's all there is to it. We've got our reload, we've got our remote, and we can fire. I would love a zoom, but I think a lot of these types of games don't actually allow you to zoom unless you're using certain weapons. So maybe we just need to find a sniper rifle or something with a scope on it to be able to use zoom. Now, one thing I did forget to mention when I saw it firing was that it leaves these artifacts on top of the layer that you shoot on top of, which is really a nice little touch so that you can get an idea of what's been going on. Ooh, what's down here? Let's kind of explore a little bit. Plenty of environmental clutter, I guess you should say. These crates and things like that to help create places to take cover, I should say. So that's nice to see. I'm really enjoying this. This actually looks a lot better than I was expecting. Just looking at the release videos, I guess you should say, that they had for it, where they were just looking at these things. I think once they get this polished a little bit more, it's going to be really good. And obviously, we've came across a few things that we would like changed, but like I said, this is an alpha build or a demo, so we can't expect everything the way we like it. And wow. Okay. So our windows don't break. Let's see if we can... we're not getting any environmental damage on things like the trash can. I wonder if there is anything that we can actually damage. So maybe this is something that's coming. I wonder if we can climb a ladder. Okay, so there doesn't appear to be a way for me to interact with the ladder. Maybe I'm just missing that, but I don't think so. Usually in these sorts of games, you would have a pop-up come up to where it would prompt you on how to actually do what you're doing. But for the most part, I'm really impressed with what we have here, and considering where they are on the roadmap, I'd say things are looking really good. Now, obviously, they're probably a little bit further along in development than what they're showing you in just this. A lot of these art assets are probably going to be reused in some aspect in other areas of the game, such as the posters and furniture and things like that. Now, the other details like the vehicles, what was it? There was one that was a camo military vehicle. Oh yeah, the motorcycle. None of those might not fit in some of the other zones that they have planned, but some of these vehicles might, like the cars, but the military vehicle might be a little bit specific to this particular zone. But this is really nice. Let's go ahead and check out the Sandbox environment. Let's quit this one and play in the Sandbox environment. Okay, so we've got some music. Let me turn that down. Actually, let me turn it up. My apologies, I've been recording with the sound off. And I actually need to turn this down for myself. Okay, so I hope you can hear this. This is, I guess, their music that they're working with, or ambient sounds. And you probably can't tell this, but it sounds like the source of the sound is that yellow circle there. You can see we've got other weapons here. I wonder if we can pick any of these up. I'm not seeing how to do that just yet, so that's probably something else they're working on. And did that move? Yeah, so finally got some of the environment to move around for us. That fell down. So it looks like these things are going to be in the game. It's just stuff that we interacted with in the military map wasn't quite ready for that. This is pretty cool. So let's go up this ramp. See what we're looking at here. I hope you all can hear the actual sound effects now from where I'm shooting the game. Let's look at the map for this. It's actually showing us the military base map when we're on this one, so I don't know if they meant to do that or if there's even a map file available for this level. But there's not a lot of bounce back on the fire, or recoil I should say. What's hardest for me with the aiming is his little momentum, how it doesn't really stop, and the sensitivity on the mouse. Because the mouse even has a little bit of momentum when you turn it. But overall, this is really cool. I'm excited about where we're at. And I apologize for you not being able to hear in the first part of the video. That is absolutely my fault. I apologize. But like I said, I don't typically record these videos with sound. And hopefully, once I did turn it on, you were able to hear that. Now, as far as Lightnite goes, if you don't know what it's about and you've been watching this video, I've already displayed a card or a little message at the top of the video that's linked you to the very first video that I did that covered this, but you'll also be seeing another one here shortly. And what Lightnite is it is a game, and let me get out of this because I can't stand hearing those birds anymore. But what it is essentially a Fortnite-like game where you're going to be able to use Bitcoin in its smallest denomination, Satoshi, to be able to play and earn with other players. Now you can compete against others to earn, and there's different game modes that they have out there available, but this is the very first build of that game that they put out there. And if you haven't already checked it out, please go to their website. Now there is a referral link in the description of the video if you want to go ahead and pre-purchase the game. I believe it's $16, but that might change depending on where they are in the development. I don't know if they have plans to change it. But that's just where we are now. But if you do go ahead and pre-order, you are going to get a couple of nice things, and that should be identified in the description of that referral link. I believe you get a skin and some Satoshis, I believe. Maybe something else. I'm not entirely sure, but the offer might change. That's why I'm a little hesitant to tell you exactly what you're going to get if you do it. But you'll be able to get some of that stuff if you go ahead and pre-order. Plus, the referral link gives you a discount. When I say it's $16 right now, that's because with the referral you get a 20% discount off the regular price of $20, which is what I paid when they very first announced it, because I was really excited about the idea they came out with. But that is going to be it for now. The only other thing really to look at is the what's new, and that's pretty much everything that we're going over so far in this video. But I think that's it for this video. If you like the Lightnite stuff, definitely like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I've been covering Lightnite since it was very first announced, and I'm going to continue to cover it, as this is one of the big crypto projects that I really believe in for fostering adoption of actually using Bitcoin and crypto in the real world in a meaningful and useful way. So thank you all for watching the video, and have a great day.